we have a special guest. I'd like to introduce Margaret Sharpe. She's a journalist for the San Pedro Today, and she owns a blog called Musings and Rants. Margaret, can you please tell us a little bit how you started your career in blogging and a little bit of your works?
Well, I've always enjoyed writing, and I write feature stories at San Pedro Today, which is a lot of fun. But I realized I don't really get a good outlet to complain and to tell stories about my family or things that I enjoy. So I created this website, so it's Musings and Rants. So some of them are musings, some of them are rants. So that's kind of how I started up with that. Mainly trying to complain, but musing a little. So.
Right. And how long have you been running this blog?
Not too long. It's only been about 6 months or so since I started it, and I'm realizing that it's hard to keep up with blogging every day.
Right.
But I'm trying. So.
And you have a Twitter and a Facebook page for followers?
I do. I have my Twitter. I have my Facebook page, and trying to keep up with those as well. But there's always more and more social media.
Okay.
All the time.
What I'm really interested in is current events.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that you touch upon it. What's like the latest buzz that, for instance, the youth is following that you find to be stimulating for the community?
Right, technology. I mean, I think that everybody was talking this past week about the newest iPhone. And there's been a lot of arguments between Samsung and the iPhone,
Right.
and do you have a Droid, do you have an iPhone? So I think that that's, among our youth, technology and communicating with each other is one of the biggest things that are, that's going on right now that I
Right.
see.
And the theme of our episode today is about appreciation.
Right.
And, being a journalist, I know because I'm a communications major, it's a very, let me put it this way, like a stressful career.
Yes.
And I want to know about the appreciations that you've, received from walking down this journey.
Right. I think that the main thing is family. I think that if you don't have a supportive family, it becomes very, very difficult. And I think that with creative careers, it's very hard for people to kind of satisfy that when their parents are, trying to push them to go into, either medicine or something a little bit, So it is hard, but it's been nice having a very supportive mother and sisters and brothers. So.
Right. So you get a lot of support and appreciation from your family.
Mm-hmm.
What can you tell us about how other people appreciate you? What do you do that elicits appreciation from the community?
Oh wow! I mean, I would hope that with some of my writing, I am helping to tell other people's story, and so I hope in that way I'm able to get some appreciation. Hopefully, right. I don't know. I'm hoping.
I've actually visited your blog, and I like the aesthetics about it. Actually, Audrey was telling me that she read a section about it. Can you tell us about what you read?
Yeah. So you wrote something about your mom, and it was a really touching story. Can you explain more about, just how you opened up and just allow the audience to read this?
Sure. Well, the story that I told was a little bit about growing up. And growing up, after my parents divorced, it was really, really difficult. My mother was a single mother of 4, and she kept us in a private school because she didn't want to take us out of that. So she scraped together money and everything to keep us in school. And so a lot of my classmates had, stay-at-home mothers, and, they were able to do arts and crafts at home. They all had hot glue guns and all this stuff. And I remember being little, and all I wanted was a mother with a hot glue gun. And so it was such a simple thing, because I remember being little and, having, construction paper, and it was always the ugly colors like brown and orange, because my sisters took all the good ones. And it was, and all I wanted was glue, just Elmer's glue to put it together. And my mom wouldn't, we'd never go to get it, and what she would do is she'd get rice, sticky rice.
Yeah.
And she'd, put it into she'd smooth it down flat and use it as glue for all of my projects.
Wow, that's really creative.
Yeah, and I remember at the time, because I'm 7 or 8 years old, and I remember being so angry, and all I wanted was the glue, the Elmer's glue,
Yeah.
And I remember, when she showed me this trick that she had with this rice, her face lit up, and it was like she was showing me some kind of a magic trick. And I remember thinking at the time that it was, looking back at it, it's one of those things where I kind of I understand it a little bit more, because she was so tired from working, 10 hours a day and not really knowing if she was going to be able to pay rent. But this was one problem that she could fix with just this little bit of rice, And it just made me really appreciate her as a single parent, just being able to do everything that she did.
Wow,
So.
that's really resourceful. I actually find it very like I don't know the word, but it's ingenuity. Very creative in how she came up with that.
Right. Well,
So-
I've heard ever since I posted it, I had heard that I have a lot of Asian friends whose parents have used sticky rice for school projects and things like that. But
Right.
at the time when I was little, it was pure magic to me, and it just made me appreciate the fact that whatever it was, she could take care of us.
Right.
You know.
And I'm pretty sure that that episode helped you become more resourceful in your adult life. So
Yeah.
you're more versatile, and when something happens, you're actually like, hey, you know what? There's not one way to actually do it.
Right.
Right.
There's
So-
more than one way, and it's not being wasteful and really taking advantage of what you have and not worrying about what you don't have.
That's awesome. Wow.
Great.
Well, thanks for joining us on the show today,
Definitely.
and good luck with your blog.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed it. So.
Great. Thank you so much.